My dear students, today I am going to discuss the linear programming graphical method. So before we discuss the linear programming by graphical method, let us understand some of the important definitions, out of which we are going to discuss three important definitions first. So, what is the procedure of the linear programming, and what is the graphical method? The step-by-step graphical method procedure is already given in the previous class. So, as a continuation to this yesterday's class, today I am going to discuss three important definitions followed by a analytical problem. So, by using graphical method. So, the first important definition is, so what is a solution? So a solution is something like a set of values of decision variables where which satisfies the constraints of the linear programming problem is said to be a solution. So that means you know what is meant by a decision variable, which is already discussed in the previous class. So there are certain value of decision variable which will satisfy the constraints of the linear programming problem. So for one particular value of decision variable, the constraints are going to be satisfied. So such decision variables values are known as solution. So that is it. And second one is a feasible solution. Second definition is very important. It is defined as something like the set of values of decision variables, something like the values of the decision variables which satisfy all the constraints as well as the non-negativity constraints simultaneously of the linear programming problem is said to be a feasible solution. So that means a feasible solution will satisfy the constraints as well as non-negativity restrictions. You got to know already what is meant by a non-negativity restrictions, which is already discussed in the previous class. Okay, now coming to the third important definition, which is optimum feasible solution. Now let us see what is optimum feasible solution. So it is also defined as the set of values of the decision variables which will optimize as the objective function. So the value of the objective function will become either maximum or minimum. That means for one particular decision variables, the objective function is going to be optimized. So what is meant by optimized? It may be a maximization problem or it may be a minimization problem. So the value of the decision variable for which the objective function is going to be optimized for an linear programming problem is known as a optimum feasible solution. So in this particular graphical method, we are going to find out the optimum feasible solution for the linear programming problem. By using graphical method, we are going to find it out. Now we can solve one of the important linear programming problem by using graphical method, which is a basic problem which I am going to discuss now. The problem is maximize z is equal to 3x1 plus 5x2 subjected to the constraints x1 plus 2x2 less than or equal to 2000, and second constraint is x1 plus x2 less than or equal to 1500, and third constraint is x2 is less than or equal to 600, and the non-negativity restriction or constraint is x1 is greater than or equal to 0 and x2 is greater than or equal to 0. So this is the linear programming problem for which the objective function is maximize z. So here the objective function is a maximization problem for which the objective function is a linearity relationship existing between objective function and decision variables. As I already told you, every objective function is expressed as a linear relationship in the form of decision variables. Here x1 and x2 are the decision variables. All of you remember here, x1 and x2 are the decision variables. Now we are supposed to find out x1 value and x2 value so that the objective function is going to be maximized. So what is that maximization? It is what is that optimization? The optimization is of maximization problem. So for one particular value of x1 and for one particular value of x2, the objective function becomes maximum. So what is that value of decision variables of x1 and x2 we are supposed to find out, subject to the constraints. So these are the constraints. The first constraint is x1 plus 2x2 is less than or equal to 2000, and second constraint is x1 plus x2 is less than or equal to 1500, and third constraint is x2 is less than or equal to 600. And the non-negative restrictions are x1 is greater than or equal to 0 and x2 is greater than or equal to 0. And I told you in the previous session there are 6 steps that are to be followed in order to solve this graphical method. So out of which, what is the first step? The first step is, so what is the first step? Consider each inequality as an equation. So that means each and every inequality, each and every constraint in the form of any inequality to be converted into an equation. Consider each inequality as an equation. So what is the meaning of this? So that is, in the go to the constraint part, first constraint, second constraint, third constraint, each and every constraint is converted into an equation. Accordingly, in the first step, I am converting the constraints into equation. x1 plus 2x2 is equal to 2000. Second constraint is x1 plus x2 is equal to 1500. And third constraint is x2 is less than or equal to 600. To convert that constraint into inequality into equation, we can put equality 600. Okay, first step is over. In the second step, step 2, plot each equation on the graph. So I am going to write. So every time you may not require to write these steps as if you are going to do the problem by following certain number of steps. Plot each equation on the graph. So there is no necessity of requirement of a graph paper, but as if you have to take an appropriate scale and you need to draw it on a plain paper. That is sufficient. No need of any graph paper. Remember, all of you, plot each equation on the graph. So what is the first equation? So that means we have first equation of x1 plus x2 is less than or equal to 2000. So first one, let us take, I need to plot on the graph. Let us take it like this. It's a rough one. So I am taking x1 is one coordinate, x2 is another coordinate. Now in order to plot x1 plus 2x2 is less than or equal to 2000, what we have to do? We need to first of all put x1 is equal to 0 and you will be getting x2 is equal to 1000, one particular value you are going to get. And similarly you can put now x2 is equal to 0. Accordingly, you will be getting x1 is equal to 2000. Now we are going to plot this line of x1 plus 2x2 is equal to 2000 on a graph. So that means approximately it will be like this. What is the value of x1? 2000. On x1 coordinate, you can locate 2000. And if it is 2000, appropriately dimensionally x2 will be half of this. So this is x2 line, x2 coordinate, then it will be 1000. Now join this 1000 with 2000. Join, then this line corresponds to x1 plus 2x2 is equal to 2000. I hope you people are aware, you got to know how to construct a line with this information. So each and every line is to be plotted on a graph. Graph is nothing but on a coordinate system. Simple. The first one is over. And the second line. So second line. For the second one, what we have to do, it will be like this. What is the second equation? X1 plus X2 is equal to 1500. X1 plus X2 is equal to 1500. To plot this line on the graph, take the coordinate like this. This is X1 and this is X2. And since X1 plus X2 is equal to 1500, first of all you can take X1 is equal to 0. Accordingly you will be getting X2 is equal to 1500. Similarly you can put X2 is equal to 0. You will be getting X1 is equal to 1500. So this is a linear problem. So same X1 and X2 both are same. So look at the point. So assume this is a 1500. Let us take this is 1500 and this is 1500 and join this. Accordingly, this line corresponds to X1 plus X2 is equal to 1500. And third, I am going to plot third line on the graph. So what is the third line? Third straight line, X2 is equal to 600. So this simple coordinate geometry that we are going to make use of. Now draw X1 and this is X2. Since X2 is equal to constant, take an appropriate line. So parallel to x-axis, x1 axis. So this line is 600 value and this line corresponds to X2 is equal to 600. Now we have completed the second step. Is it right? Now we have completed the second step. So what is the second step actually? Once we converted each inequality into equation, we need to plot each equation on the graph. So that comes the second step. The third step, what we have to do? So the third step also can be done. The second step, that explanation I am going to give it to you now. So shade the feasible region. The third step is shade the feasible region. So I told you what is a feasible region just before. So what is a feasible region? The set of values of decision variables which satisfy all the constraints is known as a feasible region. I told you now, the set of values of decision variables which are going to satisfy the constraints as well as non-negativity constraints is known as feasible region. So what are the non-negativity constraints? X1 is greater than or equal to 0 and X2 is greater than or equal to 0. If X1 and X2 greater than or equal to 0 means the region should lie in first quadrant. Please do remember all of you. If X1 is equal to greater than or equal to 0 and X2 is greater than or equal to 0 means the region should lie in the first quadrant. Along with this, the region is such that we are going to find out one particular feasible region or solution space which is going to satisfy all the constraints. Now, what is that feasible region we are going to show? We are going to show this feasible region over the plot that we have drawn first. Now, first of all, in the second step itself, in the plot itself, we can show. Since the second equation is x1 plus x2 is equal to 2000. Actually, the first equation is what? X1, first constraint is x1 plus 2x2 is less than or equal to 2000. So, what is the meaning of this? Any point on this line is going to satisfy this particular equation. But if it is less than or equal to means 0, if less than or equal to 2000 means the region will lie below this line, this important point. I repeat once again. Suppose if you take this particular line, over this particular line, whatever the values of x1 and x2 that you obtain, that will satisfy this equation. But if it is less than or equal to 2000 means the region will be below this line. See, x1 plus 2x2 is less than or equal to 2000 means the region will be below this line. Since it is less than or equal to below this region, it will be. Similarly, second constraint you can take. You can take the second constraint. If you take the second constraint, x1 plus x2 is less than or equal to 1500. So you can go to the second plot. In the second plot, what is the second plot? This is a simple line. of x1 plus x2 is equal to 1500. Any value corresponding to x1 plus x2 which is satisfying this equation will lie on this line. But if the x1 plus x2 is less than or equal to 1500 means the region, the solution will be below this line. Listen here, the solution will be below this line. So this is the way the feasible region will be below this line. Feasible region will be below this line. Here also x2 is equal to 600. So what is the third constraint? Actually, when it comes to third constraint, it will be x2 is less than or equal to 600. When x2 is less than or equal to 600, which means that, so this is the line which will satisfy x2 is equal to 600. But since x2 is less than or equal to 600 means we need to find the feasible region below this line. It will be this is the feasible region. This is the feasible region. So actually in the third step, what is that we are going to do is the feasible. In the third step, that is what we are going to do is we need to combine these three constraints on one particular graph. So that is what we are going to do now. So how this can be done? In order to do it, let us take the simple we can take a scale, appropriate scale, and let us do it as per the scale, as per the dimensions. So that gives, it will be appropriately, you can take like this. Now this is x1 and this is x2. Now here what we are supposed to do, we have to take on x1 and x2 coordinates for every 2 centimeters or for every 1 centimeter. 1 centimeter is very less. For every 2 centimeter we can take 500. So this is 500, 500, and this is 500, and this is 500. Accordingly here also, so you need to carry these instruments when you go to exam. Now, so equal intervals I have taken. This is 500. So actual plot will be like this: 1000, 1500, 2000. Similarly, 500, 1000, 1500, 2000. So what is that we are going to do? We are going to find out the feasible region. In third step, we are going to find out the feasible region by combining all the constraints. So by combining all the constraints, you will be getting some intersecting feasible region, a region which is the intersection of all the regions. We are going to find it out. So one by one we will be seeing. So what is the first equation? The first equation is, so we are going to find out the feasible region. So to find out the feasible region, each and every plot, each and every equation to be plotted on this particular graph. So I am going to draw the plot for the first equation, 2000 here, and this is 1000 here. So join this 2000 and 1000. The first plot, as we already did. Now this the equation 1. Equation 1. You have to write equation 1 like this. Similarly, so this equation 1 corresponds to, so what is that equation 1? Equation 1 corresponds to x1 plus 2x2 is less than or equal to 2000. Equation 1 is nothing but, or inequality constraint 1 is x1 plus 2x2 is less than or equal to 2000. Inequality constraint 1. And for the constraint 1, the plot and the feasible region we will mark. So this is the feasible region. Let me draw the region, will be like this. It will be like this. Is it right? Yes. For the constraint 1, the feasible region I could draw here with the pencil. Now the first constraint, the feasible region is okay. I got the region, feasible region. Solutions. Now second constraint. So what is the second constraint? x1 plus x2 is less than or equal to 1500. That means I told you now, see, mark 1500 and you can mark 1500. Now join these 2 points by scale. join these 2 points by a scale. Now this is the equation 2. Now what is the feasible region for this? The feasible region for this is below, since it is less than or equal to 1500, it will be like this. So this is like this. Now above the second line, in between first and second line, that is not the intersection, that we will come to know. Now let us see the third equation, which is x2 is less than or equal to 16,600. Now take what is 600. The see here it is 500, means 600 will be approximately here. Again you can draw one line corresponds to this 600. Now this is what is known as line 3. Now we need to find out the feasible region. The feasible region is, it will be for below this third line, the feasible region will be like this. So that means by intersection of all these 3 regions, you will be getting one particular solution space. So the solution space will be like this, starting from O. Now you can move along x-axis, and you take this point as A, and you can move along this, and here you will be getting one point. Now starting from O, you can move along x1 axis, and now from A you need to find out what is the region, common region. So above this line, the region is not common one. Now below this line only you are getting a common region. From A you have to move along this line, you will be getting point B, which is the intersecting point. Again you will be getting from B to C, you can move, that is a point C. Again one point is there. Again you will be moving like this, you will be getting point D. So that means below, see, the solution region or the solution space or common region is O, A, B, C, D. So within this region, the decision variables, the solution space will be existing. So we need to find out appropriate values of decision variables for optimization problem. So mostly always remember, the decision variables will be the corner points only in linear programming problem. Now O is one particular decision variable, the corner point, and A is one corner point, B is the corner point, C is the corner point, and D is the corner point. So you will be getting one doubt. Into yesterday's class also somebody is asking, sir, what is a corner point? So corner point is something like, it's an extreme point, it is an intersecting point. So by observation you can say that, okay, for this common region I am moving along x1 axis. Now here up to here it is a intersection region, the region is intersecting the common point. So point A I have to locate appropriately accordingly, and I have to move like this. So I have to keep in mind that the intersection region, the common region, you have to identify along the common region, and I have to move along the lines. Accordingly you will be locating the intersecting points, and the intersecting points are the what is known as critical points. Now you have to locate O, A, B, C and D. Now OABCD is the, within this OABCD, so this is OABCD, this is a solution space. Now let us move on to third step is over. Let us move on to step 4. In the step 4 we need to identify the corner points. We need to identify the corner points. So just now I told you, corner points are the points which are obtained by the intersection of lines. Suppose for O it's a common origin. Suppose O is a common origin, it is O0, 0. If you take A, it's a corner point. A is a corner point. What is the coordinate of A? 1500, 0. It's a simple coordinate geometry, right? 1500, 0. B is a corner point. So what are the coordinates of B? we need to find out. So B coordinate, corner point B is obtained by the intersection of two lines. What are the two lines? Line 1 and line 2. So what are the line 1 and line 2? Line 1 is x1 plus 2x2 is equal to 2000. See here, the point B you are getting with the intersection of line 1 and line 2. By having the intersection of line 1 and line 2, you are getting the corner point. And line 1, this is 1, and second one is x1 plus x2 is equal to 1500. Now by the intersection of these two lines, you will be getting a corner point B. How to get the corner point B? Simple. You need to solve it. How to solve it? Minus minus common, 2x2 minus x2. x2 is equal to 500. If x2 is equal to 500, x1 is equal to 1000. Then appropriately corner point B is equal to 1000 comma 500. Now you got A, you got B, O is already there, 0 comma 0, O, A, B. Now we need to find out the corner point C. Corner point C is the intersection of line 3 and line 1. See, the corner point C is the intersection of line 3 and line 1. What is the line 1? Line 1 is the x1 plus x2. See, this is the line 1. Corner point C is lying on the intersection of line 3 and line 1. Line 1 is x1 plus x2. Line 1 x1 plus 2x2 is equal to 2000 and x2 is equal to 600. By solve this, in order to get the corner point C, corner point C is the intersection of the line 3 and line 1. Line 3 is this one and line 1 is this one. And if you solve, how to solve these two? Simple. You got x2 value 600. Put this x2 in this equation. Then x1 plus 2 into 600 is equal to 2000. Then you will be getting x1 is equal to 800 and x2 is equal to, already 600 is there. Is it right? So suppose if you want to put these two values in the first equation, x1 is 800, x2 is 2x2. That means the equation is satisfied. Next, see, the fourth step is over. The fourth step is of finding the corner points from the feasible region or solution space from the graph. Now, once the corner points are identified, the fifth step is evaluating. Simple. This is very, very important step. Evaluating the objective function. Evaluating the objective function at each and every corner point. Evaluating the objective function at each and every corner point. Yes. Now let us see. First of all, we can make a table like this. Now corner point or extreme point. Corner point or extreme point. So coordinates. So objective function value. So you can make a simple table like this. Corner point or extreme point, coordinate, objective function value. So first is O, A, B, C, D. Coordinate is 0, 0. For A, coordinate is 1500, 0. For B, the coordinate is 1000, 500. For C, the coordinate is 800, 600. And for D, the coordinate is 600, 0. See, point D is on x2 axis. Accordingly, this is something like a x2 line and 600, 0. Now how to evaluate this? Simple. What is the z value? Z1 is equal to 3x1 plus 5x2. Z is nothing but 3x1 plus 5x2. Simple. You can put x1 and x2 values. x1 is equal to 0, To evaluate this objective function at O, put x1 is equal to 0 and x2 is equal to 0. You will be getting z is equal to 0. Similarly, to evaluate the objective function at A, since 3x1 plus 5x2, put x1 is equal to 1500, x2 is equal to 0, so 4500. Z is equal to 4500. Similarly, to evaluate the objective function at B, what you have to do is you can put x1 is equal to 1000 and x2 is equal to 500. Accordingly, Z will be 5500. And the evaluation of this corner point at B is over. Now we need to evaluate the corner point at C. Accordingly, Z will be 5400. That means how we are going to get 5400? Put x1 is equal to 800 and x2 is equal to 600 in this objective function. You will be getting Z is equal to 5400. Now evaluate this point, corner point of 600 comma 0. For this objective function, you will be getting Z is equal to 1800. So out of all these values, what is that value which is going to become maximized? So Z is nothing but 5500 for the coordinate corresponding to 1000 comma 500. So that means the optimum value of this objective function is 5500 and the decision variables corresponding to this objective function is 1000 comma 500. So in the step 6 you have to write that the optimum value of objective function is Z is equal to 5500 corresponding to decision variables x1 is equal to 1000, x2 is equal to 500. That means for when x1 is equal to 1000 and x2 is equal to 500, the objective function becomes maximization and the optimum value, the maximum value of the objective function will become 5500. So this is the way how we can solve the linear programming problem by using graphical method by following systematic procedure. Thank you.